I'm happy you liked the article about the artificially intelligent dishwasher. Uh, let's speak about that a little bit. So, as you said, I'm Vice President for Strategic Alliances at PMI, Project Management Institute. I've taken this position recently, sometime in June. And the aim of the game for PMI in this context is to respond to a continuously evolving world. What we see happening is currently a state of shocks, one after the other, one following on the top of the other. What type of shocks are we looking at now? Climate change. Climate change is a reality, despite some of the claims, and it impacts the way we have access to resources, it impacts the way we have to use our resources, and it impacts the way we have to plan the renewal of these resources. My theme connected to ecology, actually, it's not so much. It's much more than that now. It's not even a matter of being green and sustainable, and so it's a matter of survival to respond to that threat. Years ago, I worked with a large organization based in France, one of the biggest European paper making company. So basically, their business was about cutting trees, but each time they cut a tree, they planted 10 more. So of course, ecologists love them. But they didn't do that for ecology. They did that for survival. Because each time they plant 10 trees, they actually count that some of them will be eaten by animals, some of them will die of diseases, and finally only 2 will remain. Among 2, 1 will be reused. So in fact, they preserved their pool of resources by contributing to preserve the environment. Another shock we face is, of course, the current COVID situation, which we experience now for a year. And sorry, but it's not over. And it changes a lot of things. It changes a lot of things in a way of working. We'll speak a lot about ways of working. How does it change a way of working? Obviously, we're not face-to-face in person today. That's one thing. I have between 12 and 18 meetings a day. Each and every single of this meeting is a virtual meeting. Does it cut the connection with the people I work with? To a certain extent, yes. But there are other ways to deal with that. There are other ways to absorb this thing. And even after the COVID, our ways of working will be impacted forever. Like, people can pretend that it's not a good time to own office space. Probably not, definitely. Will we come back to offices? Probably. But you know what? The era of open spaces full of rows of cubicles where people are stuck one after the other, that's over. That's not coming back. You can say goodbye to your cubicle, you can say goodbye to your open space. What will happen is actually that your desk will probably stay at home. You will keep working from home on a daily basis, but the office space will have to be reconfigured, reimagined, rebuilt to bring people together when they have to keep and maintain this connection, to host team meetings, seminars, workshops, trainings, conferences, things like that. But your daily job, as it is today now, home office, it will stay like that. Another revolution, another shock we're facing is digitalization. The rise of the machine, as some people say. or rise of the machines. Artificial intelligence, digitalization, cloud, citizen development, as I will mention in a moment. All of those things that actually take over some of our activities. And this is what my paper about this artificially intelligent dishwasher was about. Do you think that your dishwasher is actually stealing your job? Are you scared, if you're working for a PMO, that all of this planning, risk analysis, Monte Carlo projections, everything will be given to a machine and you will lose your job? Actually, if you're not, you should, because this is what is currently happening now. And it's the same principle as the dishwasher. Basically, no one now washes your dishes on your own. We all have a machine that does that. Has your dishwasher stolen your job as a dishwasher at home? Maybe. If once you have loaded the thing, press the start button and close the door, you stay in front of it and you stare at it for 2 hours, yes, definitely the dishwasher has stolen your job. But now that you are not obliged anymore to wash your dishes because you have a machine that does that for you, you take this time and you use it to create and generate value somewhere else. Reading a book, spending time with your loved ones, watching a TED, participating to a conference, whatever that creates an additional value, then the dishwasher has not stolen your job. It has given you the opportunity to generate an additional level of value for yourself, for your stakeholders. So actually, this rise of the machines, this change in our working ways, this pressure to better use our resources is actually an opportunity. It's an opportunity to come back to what is important and essential. Coming to an organization which will be more flexible, more agile, or as Sunil Prashara, our CEO, says, a gymnastic organization. What is the aim of the game behind that? It's not only to be more productive, adaptable, and resilient. Yes, it's a matter of resiliency, but it's a matter of exploiting the tremendous opportunity we have in the current developments we face. You are all familiar with the talent triangle, I suppose. The talent triangle is how we report our PDUs. And we have these 3 dimensions of the talent triangle. The first dimension here, which is the technical project management dimension, everything about how you're doing things, processes, tools, techniques, outputs, tools and techniques, and so on. We have this leadership dimension, which is about how to work with others. And we have this strategic dimension, which is about understanding why we're doing things and how to make decisions. Obviously, what is happening now is that this technical project management dimension is shrinking for humans. It's not shrinking in importance on the project, it's shrinking for humans in the impact we have on it. Because most of these activities are actually delegated to machines and artificially intelligent systems. When was the last time you had to compute a critical path using a pencil and a piece of paper? Probably the day you pass your PMP. When have you last time used a calculator to make a Monte Carlo simulation? I don't remember. So all of these things are actually shrinking for humans. But the shrinkage of this technical project management dimension saves space to actually dedicate more time and energy on the leadership dimension. Saves space, frees space to spend more time and energy into making better decisions and understanding the impact of our decisions on our environment. which means that actually the evolution of technologies, the rise of the machines, is an opportunity to be more human-centric, to spend more time and energy with our teams and with or stakeholders or clients or customers or employees. So the more you integrate these new ways of working, the more you can actually put the human in the center of the system. And PMI has seen this coming. So that's why we're working on a new version of this talent triangle. We're looking at it differently. The technical project management now embraces what we call the ways of working. Ways of working, how do you structure, how do you organize, how do you put in place the principle of your governance? And you see this coming very much if you look at the 4th editions of the program management standard, the portfolio management standard, when you look at the newly published risk management standard, or when you will see coming the PMBOK 7, which will be mainly based on principles. We're also looking at power skills, the elements with which allow everyone to work together in a better way, the elements that make the difference on a workplace. Actually, the competitive advantage of an organization is not anymore on the product you deliver, the services you propose. There's certainly another company, another organization that does the same thing as you do, cheaper and better. It's not even your ability to innovate. An innovation now on a given market has a lifespan of 3 months. It takes 3 months to your closest competitor to put the same thing better, cheaper, faster than you do. Your real competitive advantage is in who you are as an organization. What are the values you stand for? What is the impact of your organization on society? And how you can enable your customers, your employees, your stakeholders in triggering that impact on society. This is what makes a difference. Simple example, PepsiCo. When you look at PepsiCo's approach to market, it's actually not a market approach. It's what David Back, a researcher from Yale, called the non-market environment approach. They stand for healthy food. They stand for healthy drinks. They stand for practicing sports. PepsiCo, yeah. But PepsiCo doesn't sell only sodas. PepsiCo sells water. PepsiCo sells fruit juices, all of those things, which make them relevant in standing for this causes. And this is what the message at PepsiCo is about, which somehow supports a positive development in society, but also somehow supports the development of their own business. So they have found a way of connecting societal impact with business and take the opportunity of that. This is what connects the power skills of empathy, responsibility, integrity with the business acumen, which allows you actually to make the right decisions the right way and having a positive impact. And this societal responsibility, corporate social responsibility, or corporate citizenship, as we call it, is what makes the difference between two organizations. And this is one of the major triggers to attract new generation, to renew this movement, which brings in new people, new ideas, new ways of working, new approaches to the business through not only how you do it, tools, techniques, processes, systems, governance, but the final benefit and value you can generate through your organization as a social actor in a given environment and not only on a given market. We're not speaking now of strategies which are responding to market problems with market solutions. we are speaking of strategies that actually embrace market and non-market challenges and bring to market and non-market challenges market and non-market responses. And usually we see that a non-market response to a market challenge is often much more powerful because it's much more engaging and delivers value for society at large. So that requires agility. Agility in the sense of the ways of working, and not agility only in how you develop your software or how you move from A to B. Agility in a way that structures your governance system itself, bringing sorry, I think I've lost connection. Can you still hear me? Okay, I've been cut. So I don't know if you can still hear me or not. So we're talking about agility. Agility also in the way you can dissolve actually the core systems, the core processes of the organization, dilute them throughout the organization, which goes with the principle of citizen development. Citizen development that allows anyone in an organization to develop applications with low or no code. Experts, and still as project is not the expert reserved only field of PMOs, project managers. Anyone in an organization should have access to project management, because it's not an expertise, a dedicated expertise anymore, it's a skill for life. And this is what allows organizations to move into and look into the future, and this is what allows organization to reimagine their future of work. That's where I am. Thank you very much. Welcoming questions.
Olivier, thank you very much. I know that you have a few minutes for some questions. And some of the participants are interested in you as a person. So what is your background and what is your present position and PMI? By my notes, you are responsible for strategic alliances. So what kind of strategic alliances do you build now?
So the idea of strategic alliances is actually very, very simple. We want to bring together different organizations along with PMI to deliver an additional value, to be more impactful. My mandate is very simple: expand the footprint of PMI. So what we're doing is, for example, partnering with different organizations specialized in construction to bring specific new skill set or additional skill set to PMI members and certification holders specifically in that domain, or to expand to new domains, working with an organization which supports product development, does exactly what PMI does, but not for project management, but for product development. And what we will do together, bring to their membership this additional layer of project management competence, And what we will do for our membership is to bring that additional layer of product development for project managers. And that can go in many different fields like artificial intelligence, citizen development. We're working actually into enabling a better impact for stakeholders on society by connecting with different like-minded and complementary organizations. As a personal background, I have initially a background in engineering, in electronic engineering, which I didn't use very much these days, maybe to fix a dishwasher once, but that's basically it. I have spent the past 20 years in consultancy, organizational consultancy, working in setting up PMOs, putting in place governance systems, and so on, in different industries, basically everywhere in the world. I have been a long time involved with PMI for almost 20 years, taking different roles. I have been a chapter president in Switzerland. I've been on the board of the Switzerland chapter for 6 years. I have worked on different standards. I'm one of the authors of the risk management standard, but if you browse through some of the latest editions of the PMP guide, you can find my name also somewhere, certainly.
Are you in the United States now? I see a fantastic bridge behind you, but I don't think that you are sitting on that hill.
That's just
on the background. Olivier, because of COVID, we are living in a very special situation. What do you think, and what is your experience? Are project managers well prepared for this, or it was a surprise for everybody?
We definitely weren't enough surprised. And it's been easier for some people than for some others. I have struggled. I had a struggle initially with working from home and being able to travel. And I used to fly like 150 times a year. And that 150 flights a year went down basically to zero. So I'm here in the US. I can't fly back to Europe because the US border is closed, and I could fly back to Europe, but I wouldn't be able to come back to US, and that's really a problem. But you know what? We're a resilient species, so we can adapt, and knowing that this kind of extreme situation is anyway temporary. But we have to be prepared for the next one. It's not a matter of how do we react now to COVID. We're reacting to COVID. I mean, the world has not collapsed. We're still here. We're still working. It's more difficult for some people than for some others. Definitely, absolutely. There are some professions which are more impacted than others. I am very lucky, personally, to be able to work where I work and the way I work and with the people I work with. So I am one of the lucky ones. But the question is, how do we prepare for the next one? Because this situation will happen again. There will be a COVID-20, a 25, 38. How do we make sure that we gain the lessons and the experience from what has happened now to better absorb the next one? That is the question, actually.
I remember your triangle, and you mentioned that the human aspects are getting more and more important. Is there such a thing as online leadership? Is it possible to be a good leader using online tools, maybe only online tools?
I don't know. Ask my team members. No, I think nothing will replace human contact. Nothing. That's why I said in my talk that you will need to reconfigure the office space to allow this contact, to allow gatherings, to allow people to come together safely in an environment that is suitable for this. Because let's face it, even before COVID, a meeting room was very often not suitable for a workshop or a common session or even for training. I have been a trainer for many years, and I have never seen a room, a space where I was allocated to being properly set up to actually deliver the best pedagogical experience. So we need to rethink the space we work in. We need to rethink our common spaces.